All right, this is a trade recap for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. Good old one and done again. Sticking to that one. This was number 11 of 30 using 1 to 3 contracts. So making progress there. Fairly decent day in the market. Normal. Maybe a little bit of volatility from the stupid job numbers. That's more or less just noise. But yeah, fairly straightforward. Everything went well. Not a huge amount of issues today I think of. Mainly was monitoring for potential places to, say, add a contract, because that was something that I noticed that I do need to work on. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. But first, a word on mentoring and coaching, especially if you're a new or struggling day trader. You really want to get your stuff together and figure this out. Here's the person to go and see. I am a student of this gentleman. This is Pat Mitchell. He is a professional day trader, though he originally was in blue collar work. And he has been in the markets for a little over a decade now. And he has built up a incredible process and knowledge base when it comes to learning how to day trade. He runs a service called Trick Trades. He has also put together inside of Trick Trades a program called SizeUp, and that's what I do. And it is a structured program for learning how to day trade. You start with a small cash account, and you basically build that up with your education, experience, and screen time to eventually hit different milestones and become a full-time professional day trader. So if you're interested in something like that, great person, probably one of the highest quality coaches when it comes to day trading out there. If not the highest quality, I don't personally know of any other coaches that I can stand by or say that about. And I've been around a few of them in terms of their services, and nothing even comes close to what Pat offers. So if you're looking for a high quality coach, I cannot recommend him enough. And like I said before, you can find him over at tricktrades.com. He also has a YouTube channel on his own where he posts recaps usually daily. If you want to check that out, you can get a little preview of the kind of information he offers and the quality. And that is just a very, very small amount of the knowledge he possesses. But yeah, definitely check him out. It will be worth your time and effort to go through some of his content and judge for yourself. And with that being said, let's get into the charts. Okay, so here's a recording of the live session as we are coming into the open. Let's go ahead and play this one. Again, to explain this real quick, or if you happen to be new, left charts here, 1 day, daily charts, middle, 1 minute intraday charts, order execution and management here on the right. These blue levels and trend lines are developed by Pat the night before, refined the morning of, and then they don't change. He makes a trade plan around those that we all follow, and we do not deviate from these whatsoever. So as you can see where our levels are, this trend line, both tickers, we only trade SPY and Qs, so fairly straightforward, and that'll be repeated again in every single video I ever do. You'll only see those two trade because that's honestly the only two things you really need to trade. So go ahead and play this. See, we're opening up close to this trend here on SPY. Did like Qs. I did not like the distance between the levels on Qs, so I opted to go with SPY, even though they both kind of triggered at the same time, ultimately. But you'll see that here in a second as we head into the open. So there we go. We open. So we're just kind of waiting, seeing what's going on, where things are going to go. Things are looking good right now. Just need that pop up to kind of get that test of those levels. And it didn't happen instantaneously, but did not take long. So we're pushing up. So we're coming into that first level, which is the trend, trying to make sure it gets nice and close because we're trying to, again, you have to always account for where your risk actually is before you fire off that entry. So there I go, hit SPY with the entry. And then I saved my other 2 contracts for if it came up to test that upper level so I could add and correct. As you can see on Qs, it also came into kind of that pre-market high area and now a little bit, closer to the level would have been better. Yeah, I just didn't like the risk on that. So I, again, opted for SPY, hit it. They're both kind of triggering at the same time. And it's one of those things where you just kind of see how it's going to interact. Again, we're holding up pretty high. So again, squeeze very possible. But as you can see, it's just kind of flowing there. It's not really pushing in either direction. It's kind of just digesting. Did a pretty solid move upwards already pre-market. So the question is, does that still have any juice left? And as you see, again, you're getting that reaction starting to come in, kind of got a little closer to that trend line, really testing it out. Again, there's always some give and take with trend depending on who and how you plot it. So it's not an exact science. Trying to be patient here. Again, not just jump in and jump out of it. And there we go. We're starting to get that follow through, which kind of coming down to that high of that pre-market range. So again, which is a good, again, was the valid target in my mind. Some people might disagree with me on that one, but yep. And then unfortunately it didn't come up higher to get, again, the full position size in, but that's what happened. That's what happens. A win is a win. So take my one, basically shut it down from there. As you can see, Qs probably had a bit more follow through on that one, which is fine. I mean, it's one of those things with what we're doing with one and done and first to trigger. Again, always compensating and adjusting for risk. I made my choice and yeah, just have to own it. So now we can go back to main charts. Get that switched over. And yeah, and as you can see, overall, market could just continue to trend down. So if you had kind of came up here and worked this position again, there was a little opportunity there to correct your average and then come back down, pay yourself at different points of support and resistance to where, again, was there more potential on trade? Yeah, but again, sometimes when you have a small account, you're building that small account, you got to take the safest trades and not get wild with size or trying to hit home runs or anything. You trade, again, as Pat calls it, level to level. And it really is that simple. But overall, yeah, I would say pretty straightforward day. Had no real issues, was ready to add. And yeah, that's more or less all I got. It's another day done. And I will catch everyone later for the next one. And again, if you need or want to learn how to do this, or if you're struggling in your efforts to learn how to do this, again, pop over to Pat's YouTube channel. It's over at Trick Trades, or join the service at tricktrades.com. Again, it cuts down on the learning curve tremendously, and there is a lot of information out there that can be a bit overwhelming, and sorting through it and figuring it out can be very, very hard. So I highly recommend, hiring a coach is well worth it. Just make sure you hire a competent one, a good one. And the only one I really know of that's worth their weight is Pat Mitchell over at Trick Trades. So again, that being said, have a good rest of your day, and we'll catch everyone tomorrow for the next one. Have a good one.